Hello and welcome back everyone. It's been a while since the last video, but I'm back now. And today we have a TCL TV. It's the first I've ever come across. And it's got the black screen of death. So let's see what's wrong with it. So at the moment, it's plugged in against the wall. I'll just flick on the switch now. And let's see what happens. So the standby light turns on at the bottom. You can see it glowing. And I'm just going to press on. And yes, we can't see anything. So this is the black screen of death. I believe it's still turning on because if I turn on a bright light, just like that, and shine it against the screen, I'm not sure if it's showing anything. Let me just press the home button. So you can see that the LCD panel is still showing things. You can see the Netflix, search symbol, YouTube. So it's all there. And using the arrows on the screen, you can move between these different apps. So I believe there's an LED issue. So let's flip it on its front and start dismantling this TV. So I'm just going to turn it around and flip it on its front and onto two boxes so we can get started with removing the screws. So first off are two screws holding on each leg. There's only one on this first leg because there was a missing one from the person I bought this TV off, but then there are two screws on the second leg to remove. The next step is to remove this back plastic cover. There are Phillips screws surrounding it. There are quite a few to remove and some are deeper than the others, and I can't use the electric screwdriver for this, so we use a ratchet screwdriver that's got a long reach to get these out. With all the screws removed, the back plastic panel is freed from the body of the TV. However, there are cables connecting the speakers which are attached to the back panel in this TV that's connected to the main board, which needs to be disconnected first. So here I'm just going to take you off the tripod and point out the three connectors that's connecting the back panel to the TV. You've got the cable for the infrared receiver and then two speaker cables, the red and the white. Now the back panel is fully removed and this can be placed towards the side. Now I'm just replugging the power cable in so that we can just test the TV, and then also we're going to grab the infrared sensor off the back panel that we removed so we can still plug this into the main board and control the TV with the remote. Once the infrared receiver is plugged back into the main board, we now move on to removing the two plastic brackets on the left and right that are used for screwing the TV legs in. After placing these aside, we then move on to removing the metal brackets that protect the LED panel board. On this particular TV, there are multiple Phillips screws from the back side of the TV that hold the plastic frame, which must be removed in order to then remove this plastic bezel and gain access to the LED panel and then remove it from the TV. Here I'm just working out how to remove this plastic bezel. All the screws are removed now, and it turns out that the easiest way to remove this is to flip the TV onto its back on a table, and then the plastic bezel just detaches by jiggling it side to side and it will eventually come off. So the bottom plastic bezel of the TV is separate to the side and top piece, and there are additional screws to remove that I'm pointing out right now. As usual, using the electric screwdriver means this process is really quick. The plastic bezels are now fully detached, all the screws are removed, and these can be removed from the TV, revealing the LED panel. Seen in the repair process of my other videos, these image cables must be disconnected, and then we've got to carefully remove this LED panel board. This must be folded up and then taped down to the front of the screen so we don't damage any of the cables. Next step is the delicate step. Using this big plastic sheet, we're going to slide this underneath the LED panel, carefully removing it from the TV and then placing it to the side. This will then reveal the LEDs underneath the light diffuser panels. These rubber bumpers are next to come off, and they're so soft and rubbery that they just rip off easily. Not breaking them, but they just clip off very easily. Rubber's removed now, and so the light diffusing panels can be lifted off. So the LEDs are now available to be tested, and this was a strange process. Normally, by injecting a bit of current into each diode, we can at least get them to light up and glow very dimly. However, for this particular TV with these LED strips, they are the first strips I've come across where I cannot get a single one of them to light up. It did turn out that these backlights were not operating because on the two rows of LED strips, which are composed of two pieces, one of the two rows were bad. But with trial and error, I managed to piece two good LED strips together to get one functioning row of LEDs. So now I've gone ahead to order a new set of LEDs, and once they've arrived, I can replace these LEDs for good ones. I've decided to make a bit more room for myself by removing this white reflective sheet, which gives me access to the LED strips, and upon further inspection by removing the LED lenses, I can now zoom in and show you the faulty LED, and you can see it's a bit burnt out, which has ruined the rest of this row. You can see some of the green colour of the LEDs vary between them, and so this is definitely a poor strip which needs replacing.